Hello all, this is Movies with my cat. I'm Nathan, and that's my pal Big Head, just off camera there, again. What are you doing? Are you eating? That's probably a good idea. Probably follow Big Head's advice for this one. Now, last episode, we found ourselves on the sandy beaches of California with Blood Beach. Now we're going into the water. Well, we're going on to a yacht that's in the water. But this time, we're not in California. We're on the East Coast, specifically Miami, Florida. That's where Creatures from the Abyss takes place. And it's fitting that these two movies take place on complete opposite coasts because it feels like they exist on two completely different planes of existence. I mean, that's the only way I can imagine a movie like Creatures from the Abyss being made, as if it came from some parallel universe where humans still exist and they need food and water and oxygen to survive. Except the humans in Creature from the Abyss speak and behave like no human on this earthly timeline. Yeah, that's more likely the reason for the kookiness. Yeah, it is. It's a slightly different angle than the last one. I'm still trying things. Yes, I got pants on. But this new angle, I gotta wear pants. So 1994's From the Abyss is also known as Plankton, which is a title that instills terror in exactly nobody. Yeah, it's Plankton. He doesn't have anything to do with it, though. Now, Creatures from the Abyss is a much better title, in my opinion, and it's the directorial debut of one Alvaro Passeri. That's as close as I'm going to get with that one. I think I'm saying that. Am I saying that right, Big Head? Passeri? Alvaro Passeri, that's what we're going to go with. Who previous to this was mostly known as a special effects and art department guy. Now, he worked with several genre legends like Lucio Fulci, Dario Argento, Luigi Cozzi, Sergio Leone, a whole bunch more. You can see some of his work in movies like Caligula, Enigma, The Barbarians, and Puppet Master. And I'd put Creatures from the Abyss right up there with any of those. In fact, if you're a theater owner, you might want to pair The Barbarians with Creatures from the Abyss. It's a double feature. You got yourself a full house, my friend. So what we have here with Creatures from the Abyss is an Italian crew filming in Miami, Florida. And the merging of those two elements has resulted in a bona fide masterpiece. In its way, it is. I mean, it's certainly a masterpiece of what some might call, affectionately, trash cinema. The thing with trash cinema is, it's fun, and this movie is full of fun. Especially if you consider ruining seafood for yourself fun. I know, Big Head, sorry. Now, if you're a fan of trashy films, you already know that the Italians are a formidable force to be reckoned with when it comes to trash cinema. Nobody does it like them. If you haven't already experienced the brain-melting zaniness of Italian trash cinema for yourself, maybe it's kind of hard to explain maybe, but one common trait of these kinds of movies is that nobody behaves like an actual person. And one confusing set of circumstances will lead to an equally confusing set of circumstances, but like in a charming way, if that makes sense. Absolutely. The strange dialogue is taken to the level of true art. I mean, it can be highly confounding and often truly entertaining. Another trait of these types of movies is you don't always catch the characters' names. Sometimes they don't even have names. But it doesn't really matter because they're all kind of interchangeable. Right, yeah, in Creature from the Abyss, they're all the same kind of dumb. Except for one smart one. Well, no, I guess no. But I think we're supposed to believe that one guy is a smart one, wearing glasses. And that's usually how they let the audience know, oh, okay, this is a smart one, the one with the glasses. So maybe that's probably what the movie's trying to tell us with the glasses there, I suppose. Yeah, honestly, Big Head, it doesn't matter, really. The smart one, the one with the glasses, the one in a yellow shirt that behaves like a coked out jerk. None of it matters. Because, like most Italian-made trash films, the fun here is found in two things. The gross-out factor and the strange dialogue. Of course, Creatures from the Abyss has a satisfying amount of both. So the story starts off with a group of college kids who appear to be in their early 30s getting on a rubber dinghy boat and heading out onto the water. When their boat dies, they get stuck out at sea in a storm. Luckily, they run into an abandoned yacht. But as they go on board, they find that it's not just a yacht. It's a laboratory.
This is a real scientific lab. Not the kind Bobby thinks. A lab to refine drugs.
All the same, they start to party and make themselves at home. Why not?
I always dreamed about a yacht like this. Yeah, I could definitely hang here for a while. Hey! Right. Look, aquatic bonsai. Whoa, terrific.
I'm not sure why a scientific lab would be stocked up on frat house essentials like booze and banging tunes. Oh yeah? You partied with a lot of scientists in your time? It's probably true. Either way, the party is over for the kids when they start puking up weird stuff and experiencing hallucinations. Naturally, they begin to wonder just what kind of sick experiments have been going on in this ship. Turns out it's weird fish stuff.
Due to radioactivity, the plankton was transformed into cancerous cells. And if it comes into contact with human cells, it develops with incredible speed.
At some point, all of this is explained with something about bad plankton being eaten by fish, giving them the ability to live outside of water and making them aggressively aroused. Yeah, the fact that the actual yacht is, did you say horned up? Okay, well, yeah, the whole yacht seems to be sexualized. I'm not sure why the experiments that affected the fish would also affect the boat itself, or if that's even what's going on here. Maybe whoever designed the ship was horned up, because there's some strange stuff happening here. For one, the whole bathroom is totally horned up. Or at least the bathroom's automated voice is. It asks in a sultry tone if you want your shower slow and soft, or hard and fast. And then it frantically tells you to use your finger over and over.
Now use your fingers, 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 now use your fingers.
There's also a giant phallic lamp that only turns on after you gently stroke it. And then there's maybe the strangest and most upsetting thing in the whole movie, for me at least. There's a large audible clock hanging in a common area on the yacht. And every time you walk by it, it tells you the time. It takes the form of a sultry cyclops fish that blinks, and maybe most concerning, has the voice of a grade schooler.
Hi, I'm Jessica Rollins. I give good time.
I don't know, buddy. Your guess is as good as mine. So the group of stowaways doesn't seem to have any answers either. They don't know what's going on. So when they eventually do stumble upon someone who might have some answers, there's a lone survivor from the previous crew, they try to question him, but he's no help because when he talks, he sounds like this. So those sounds came out of a guy named Darren Serafian, who would later go on to become an Emmy-nominated director and producer of dozens and dozens of popular TV shows, including CSI, House, Hemlock Grove, a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, that is correct, because there was a De Palma involved with Creatures from the Abyss. However, it wasn't the visionary director Brian De Palma. It was Lauren De Palma, who would later go on to never make another movie. But that's okay, because she was in Creatures from the Abyss, and that's something to be proud of, because this movie is something else. Now, it's got some real gross-out moments that hit pretty hard, I'd say. There's the transformation mid-coitus into a fish. That's pretty gnarly. And then there's the scene where one of the party kids starts to spill massive amounts of caviar from their downtown, as Big Head might say. It's harrowing stuff. Oh, well, no, we can't forget the dialogue. What's your favorite piece of confounding dialogue from Creatures from the Abyss, Big Head? Oh, yeah?
Professor, how long have you been fish?
They were old enough.
I want to help.
Old enough. No.
Yeah, that's a good one. You know, that would also make a pretty good trailer for the movie, just that clip by itself. Well, my favorite. Wow, well, there's so many to choose from. I guess, it could be this one.
What are you looking at those disgusting creatures for? But Dorothy, they're only fish. They frighten me. They have an evil expression.
A fish with an evil expression. I don't know. What's, I guess, maybe a blobfish can look evil. I also like this bit of dialogue. Keep in mind that it comes directly after the same couple that you're going to see here just gave a very scientifically detailed explanation of why the fish are trying to kill them. This came directly after that.
Tomorrow will be 1 year that we're engaged, and I certainly don't want to spend it here.
Oh, damn. I didn't even buy you a present.
Really? I'm glad.
Why?
Because you would have never guessed what kind of present you should have bought.
Well, what kind?
A wedding dress.
A wedding dress. For what?
To get married, right? I'm a month pregnant.
Baby, that's great.
Ah,
That's
Mike,
great.
I'm so glad you said that. I thought you'd be shocked. Ah.
I guess it's as good a time as any to learn that you're going to be a parent. Well, one thing. Yeah, that thing. Well, it's not important really, but there is a point in this movie where the guy in the yellow shirt that acts like a coked up jerk, he makes a joke that everyone laughs at. But Big Head and I, we can't, for the life of us, understand what the setup for the joke is. And it's not that we don't understand the concept. I mean, we can't understand what the hell the guy actually says. Now, I haven't mentioned this, but these Italian actors are all dubbed. So technically it's the voiceover's fault, right? I guess you could say. We'll play that clip and you can hear for yourself. But he asks, what's the difference between a blowjob and a That's the part we can't make out, the part. So I'll play it now, and maybe one of our listeners can solve this really dumb mystery.
Hey, you know what the difference is between a blowjob and a ham sandwich? No? No, give up? No?
Okay, what?
One more time.
Hey, you know what the difference is between a blowjob and a ham sandwich? And a ham sandwich? And a ham sandwich?
Yeah, that's a good point. True. Yeah, maybe they forgot to dub that part. And then, what we're hearing is Italian. Not a bad theory. So I turned on the captions, and this didn't help at all because during the indecipherable part, it read half growling. That's not a thing, is it? A half growling? Big Head? Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what a full growling is, let alone a half one. Well, whatever the setup was, the punchline to the joke is,
Let's have dinner tonight, I'll show you.
have dinner with me, and I'll show you. And then he cranes his arm out, like in a sock puppet motion, near his crotch, and it shoots out like a snapping turtle. So it's probably for the best that we never find out what he says. Incidentally, it seems there's been some confusion in the past over who the actual director of Creatures from the Abyss was. Now, some sources list him as Alvaro Passeri, being the AKA of a director named Massimiliano Cerci. Thanks. Now, Massimiliano would later pop up on a Horror HQ message board to explain that the two men are, in fact, completely different people, saying that he had long hair and Alvaro didn't. Yeah, but then if you look at Massimiliano's IMDb page, Alvaro Passeri is listed as one of his alternative names. To further confuse things, Massimiliano says that he is attached to Creatures from the Abyss, but he's uncredited. However, I've seen images of both men, and they're definitely different guys, I think. Now, this is Massimiliano Cerci. This is him. Yeah, sweet shades. And this is Alvaro Passeri. I can see that. On his website, Alvaro Passeri said that in 2010, he dedicated himself to making animatronics for the purpose of entertainment. Yeah, same here. But that's pretty cool. He's also a musician. So those two specialties seem to interact in a real fun way, like this skeleton drummer guy.
1, 2, 3.
¡Qué fico!
Yeah, not bad. Check out Alvaro's website. He's got all kinds of fun creations there. And if you haven't already, check out Creatures from the Abyss. Better yet, watch it with a friend. Big Ed, any last thoughts? Thanks for hanging out, and hopefully we'll see you on the next Movies with My Cat. Bye, all. Fish, seriously? Yeah, you know what, it does sound good. Let's go. You get the keys, I'll pay.